Flight 229, you're clear for takeoff.
Just like a flight plan, you have to know where you're going and how you will get there when you plan for retirement. Let Ryan Fleming help you chart out a course for your retirement with his intimate knowledge of financial planning and the airline industry. It's time for the Pilot's Advisor.
Welcome back to another edition of the Pilot's Advisor. I'm Walter Storholt with Ryan Fleming of retirepilots.com. Engage the autopilot on your 401k. Go to retirepilots.com today to learn how you can retire successfully. And Ryan, it's great to be with you once again on the show today. You ready for another good episode?
I'm ready for another good episode, Walter. I have you here with me, my co-pilot, so I know we'll take off and have clear skies.
Oh, man. I hope you're not relying on me to be an actual co-pilot, but certainly for a broadcasting co-pilot, I'm right there with you. Otherwise, we're in trouble if we're actually lifting off. And
if we were flying an airplane, then I could help you through it. And since we're doing broadcasting,
I can hit some buttons, right? Like, yeah, as long as you tell me what buttons to hit, and I'm a good communicator, so I can listen well. So yeah, we'd be able to find our way through it, right?
Walter, we've already talked about this. Where you come into play is the radio voice. I'll have you talking to the controllers. You can just use that radio voice.
I'll keep everybody calm on the radio. I can communicate back to the folks in the cabin, make sure that I'll read them a book, make sure they're comforted.
You forgot I'm a FedEx pilot, so I'll have you.
Oh, that's right. We don't have to worry about them.
To make sure they're calm.
There you go. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, you can't have your packages going crazy on you. Right?
Oh, I know.
Got to keep that weight distribution correct, right? All right. Well, on today's show, to some serious matters, we're going to be talking about who even needs a financial advisor. Why does anybody need a financial advisor? Whether you're a pilot or not, this will be a good conversation for you, because some people feel that they'll save money by handling their investments themselves instead of working with an advisor, and others may like the challenge of doing it themselves. I guess everybody's got different reasons for why they do certain things in life on their own versus maybe consulting a professional. And sometimes maybe it's a matter of they just don't know who to trust, so they end up not working with anyone, even if they actually had the desire for some outside input. And so I want to talk about some reasons that you might need an advisor. And if you identify with any of the ones that we talk about with Ryan on the show today, maybe let that be a little, not a red flag, but a little trigger to perhaps take some action. All right, this first one seems to speak to me a lot in many areas of life, Ryan. You tend to be a procrastinator and you need a kick in the butt. Why do folks like that tend to benefit from working with an advisor, or maybe need an advisor?
Well, I personally call it tough love, because, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love to make sure that you get going down the right track. And we all have, we talk about how life happens. I mean, life happens, and you can only keep so many plates in the air at one time. And unfortunately for many people, and especially pilots, they're off on trips, handling other things, and as soon as they get home, they have a lot of projects they have to get caught up on. They have a stack of mail. The yard needs to be cut and edged, and all the other things that we don't even think about that are day-to-day stuff that we just have to handle. Unfortunately, from my experience and seeing the do-it-yourselfers that are pilots, the finances tend to take the back burner and never get done, or I was supposed to do this or that, and I never ended up getting around to it. It's almost worse than taxes. And so I feel bad for the do-it-yourselfer pilot, and I know the pilots are type A personalities and they could do it better themselves, but if you never get around to it, that doesn't really count. And so, unfortunately, pilots definitely need a kick in the butt in many, many cases.
That's a great point. And if you need that coach, you need somebody to push you a little bit, it's very helpful. I find it very helpful, like from a gym standpoint. I tend to procrastinate. I'm not a morning gym person. As much as I want to be, Ryan, I tried so hard. I don't mind getting up early in the morning. It's just hard to get up early and go throw my body around at the gym. Like, just difficult to do. It's just not made up in my fabric, even if I try to, it's like a square peg in a round hole kind of thing. So I tend to work out late in the day. And the problem is, because I'm a procrastinator, when it's all on me, I end up procrastinating too late, and then I just don't have enough time for it. So I'm really helped by attending gym classes. So I do like Orange Theory is one of the big fitness companies in the country, and you have to sign up for class. And then once you sign up, they don't let you cancel without a financial penalty. once you're within 8 hours. So when I'm feeling good and I'm kind of seeing how the day's unfolding, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sign up for that last class of the day at 7 o'clock and go get my workout in. I'll sign up, and then even if it gets to be 6:30 and I'm like, oh, it's getting late in the day, I'm procrastinating, I've already kind of committed to it. I'm being held accountable from a financial standpoint. I know the coach has already seen my name on the list. They're expecting to see me in class. I don't want to hear about it the next time I go in that I didn't show up. There's a little bit of that accountability there that works really well for me. So I don't know. That's just maybe a parallel that works nicely to needing somebody to help kick you in the butt from a financial planning standpoint, if that's the area of your life where you tend to put things off or not want to approach it or tackle it.
Well, half of it's knowing yourself and knowing the way you act, because you can justify anything in your head.
That's
but if
absolutely.
it's not getting done, then you need to figure out a different way to get it done. And it sounds like you at least found a way to get your butt to the gym. I do know you're a morning person, because many of our listeners may not know this, but Walter always makes me do these podcasts at like 5 a.m. when I'm barely alive. I would have a lot more personality if it was later in the day. I can promise you that.
Hey, that just seems to be the time that you book on the calendar, my friend. You can't point all that in my direction. Although sometimes availability does seem to be mostly open in the mornings. Maybe it's because the rest of the world's procrastinating and they fill up the calendar. So Ryan, you're left with only the morning spots. That might be the case. Oh, too good. Thanks for listening to The Pilot's Advisor. Hey, if you're ready to have clarity and thrive in your retirement, you're in the right place, and I've got another resource for you to check out. Go to retirepilots.com. That's retirepilots.com. And look right there on the homepage, you'll be able to click Get My Free Toolkit. What this is going to do is help you get, for free, Ryan's Retirement Toolkit. This is going to include his 2 books, The Pilot's Advisor and Pilots Retire Early, revealing the 9 critical decisions when retiring and the 7 lessons to save your retirement. If you're ready to retire early or engage the autopilot on your 401k, these are the books for you, and this is the toolkit for you. Not only does it include the books, but lots of other goodies packed into this free toolkit that'll be sent to you ASAP. All you have to do is go to retirepilots.com. That's retirepilots.com. Click on the Send My Toolkit button, and we'll get it in the mail to you shortly. It's a great starting place for any pilot to begin their retirement journey. Go to retirepilots.com. All right, who needs a financial advisor? Perhaps you have no idea where to start when it comes to retirement planning. This has to be a big one, Ryan, because for anything in life, sometimes just knowing where to begin is the hardest part.
Well, I absolutely agree with this, and I'm amazed. Obviously this is something I'm very passionate about, and I really want people to be able to retire comfortably. But these are things that I'm really passionate about and interested in, and I think about it all the time, and I think about better ways or how to, get to this, point A in a better manner. But it really comes down to what we've talked about in the past, where you just don't know what you don't know. If you're not a retirement planner, if you're not a financial advisor, you don't know the mistakes that you're making as you're making them. You don't even have and to bring it back to the pilots, you don't have the situational awareness to see what's about to happen. You don't have the situational awareness to predict or stack the cards in your favor, because the little tiny details that you make in investment planning or in your 401k have drastic consequences in the end once you're in the distribution phase. So you need a financial advisor if you don't really know where to start, or if you don't know those little things that are going to make a difference. And that's why, I got to where I was helping pilots a lot more, just because I started seeing how much of a need there was to help them, because they didn't know what they didn't know.
Good points there, Ryan. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you need people to point those things out to you and give you that starting line. If you are maybe looking for that starting line in your financial planning life, a very easy one that Ryan has created is the Retirement Toolkit. You can get that on retirepilots.com. Again, retirepilots.com, and we'll link to that in the show notes or the description of today's show. And when you go to the website, you're going to see a couple of different notices there on the front page that talk about Ryan's books, and that's all part of the toolkit. You're going to see a big button there that says, Get Your Free Toolkit. Click on that, and that's going to take you to a page where you can sign up to get this. It's, again, absolutely free. You're going to get Ryan's books, The Pilot's Advisor and Pilots Retire Early, revealing the 9 critical decisions when retiring and the 7 lessons to save your retirement. And everything's going to get to you for free. You just got to put in your information and get your toolkit that way. So if you're looking for a starting line, that is certainly a place to begin and get some clarity, learn how to thrive in retirement. That's the place to go. So one more time, go to retirepilots.com and look for the retirement toolkit. Put in your information, and Ryan will send that to you for free. Would you agree, Ryan? Great place to begin for a lot of folks?
Absolutely. Most people that get the retirement toolkit learn a lot of valuable information, end up having some questions where they'll reach out to me. And then, of course, from there, we can analyze what you're doing and see if there's some things that you can improve to get a better outcome. And that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to work together, but at least we can start having some of these conversations so that you can start going down a different path for your retirement.
Easy way to dip your toe in the water, so to speak. So go check that out. Again, retirepilots.com. All right, we're talking about who even needs a financial advisor. Ryan, you kind of already jumped into this next one, which was you don't know what you don't know, and feel like we covered that one pretty good. You also don't really have the time to devote to financial planning that you should. If that's the case for you, where time is an issue, that could be a great trigger or reason for why a financial advisor could be helpful, because they kind of help really cut down how long it takes to put a plan in place and to monitor it and keep on top of everything. Right, Ryan?
I'd say about half the people I talk to come to me and say they need help because they had every intention of doing X, Y, and Z, but they just didn't have the time. And then it leads back to number one, where they become a procrastinator and it just didn't get done. It was one of those things that was constantly on the to-do list. And if you don't have the time, you're going to miss out on opportunities or make bad decisions or not even get in the game. And it's really scary, because planning for your retirement is probably one of the most important things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to not only protect you, but to protect your loved ones and your families. And it's really scary and sad that many pilots put that on the back burner. And it's one of those things where, because we don't really know what to do or we don't really want to talk about it, we just ignore it. And ignoring it is not going to make it go away. So I encourage you, if you're one of those people that feels like you haven't got that plan put together or been meaning to do it but didn't have the time, you need to reach out and protect your family.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ryan. And last but not least, I want to bring up one more point here. If you're maybe identifying with a few of these things, great, and hopefully that inspires you to take some action. But if you hear a lot of conflicting opinions in the media and you find yourself not knowing who to listen to, that's another great sign that maybe a financial advisor would be a great fit for you.
Yeah, if you're listening to the media at all, you just need to turn it off, because they're not going to give you any good financial advice. Their intentions are to induce fear, greed, and that's how they sell ratings, whether it's on TV, whether it's in magazines. So if you're actually watching Fox Business or reading some Kiplinger's magazine or any other of the other media out there for financial advice, that's a scary place to be. And I encourage you to reach out to a financial advisor and somebody that's a professional that can give you true financial advice and not what's going on in today's crazy world to induce fear and help you make decisions, because we're entirely too emotionally attached to our money to make prudent financial decisions. And if that's you definitely need to reach out to an advisor.
Very good. Well, that's a great advice from Ryan Fleming, and be sure to check him out on retirepilots.com. Lots of great information there, including the retirement toolkit. Get your copy today. There's a button right on the homepage that you can click on, put in your information, get Ryan's books, plus more great information all packed into that toolkit, a physical box that Ryan will send to you with lots of great resources to get you started on your retirement journey. Retirepilots.com. Again, the place to go to check all that out. And if you need to, check the description of today's show for a link to that and other resources. Ryan, appreciate the help and the guidance on today's show. Who needs a financial advisor? Well, lots of people who fall into these different categories would probably benefit and help solve some of those problems and issues by working with an advisor, just like lots of other areas in life that we talked about today. But appreciate your help, and we'll look forward to another good episode with you soon.
Take care, Walter. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. That's Ryan Fleming. Today has been another edition of The Pilot's Advisor, and we'll talk to you on the next show.
Information is for illustrative purposes only and does not constitute tax, investment, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action.